Hello, hello, it's Patty Joe. Let's try to wrap up day 3 here for Darrell after that ridiculous hearing, which he knows
Hearing
nothing.
out.
Nothing.
Understood.
Okay. Just a quick recap. Oh, he looks dumb. Okay, just a quick recap. Basically, there was a short, maybe 15 or 20-minute, really excruciating hearing where they discussed that there is a witness who has a criminal record. The criminal record is minuscule, it is ridiculous, but the state moved to not have it, brought in or discussed as a reason for whatever impeachment. And Darrell, of course, uh, disagreed with that. He didn't even know he was doing something that could have possibly made sense to an actual attorney, I think. But he objected and said, "Well, no matter what, we should bring in everybody's criminal record because my criminal record, like everybody else is on trial." Um, but basically, the two questions that are going to be allowed are: do you have a criminal record? Yes. How many times were you arrested and convicted? One for this particular person. It's irrelevant what it was. It's totally irrelevant. He just is absolutely tickled that he gets to ask a question about it. But this person coming in, he is who we've been waiting for. He is going to end up being, I guess, the biggest criminal ever, whatever. I don't think so. It's probably the exact opposite. It's probably just a regular person who got in trouble when they were younger, okay? Whatever. But let's uh let's watch Darrell make a damn fool out of himself.
Sorry.
Because isn't that what we're here for? Alexa, shut up. Did I lose sound or something? There it goes.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Rick, you may call your next witness.
State calls Thomas Green.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Green. If you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is on my right, up a riser. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, who's on my left, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. First thing I will have you do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
Thomas Green, THOMAS, GREENE.
Thank you. Go
Oh,
ahead, your
oh,
witness.
hold on a second.
Mr. Green, what city or
Hold up. Doesn't look like the criminal. Just looks like a regular dude to me.
village do you live in?
The town of Merton?
Were you at the WAUKESHA Christmas Parade on November 21st of 2021?
Yes.
Who were you with at the parade?
I was with my wife and 3 children.
Okay. Do you remember where you were along the parade route?
I know I was across the street from a bookstore.
Okay. I'm going to ask that we project Exhibit 15 for everybody, please.
15, go ahead.
And could we zoom in on the middle of the screen there? Down a little bit. Right there. Okay. Do you see your kids' names that were on that exhibit?
Oh, oh no.
Yes, I do.
Could you? That's a touch screen in front of you. Could you circle them for me?
Okay, so the bookstore and the little orange is pointing to this little orange thing right here. I'm guessing that means orange means that they were spectators. So Lily and Charles are two of his three children that made the map.
Okay. Did you see the line connecting those names to an orange star?
Yes, I do.
And then can we zoom out one click, please? Do you recognize the neighborhood depicted in this map?
Kind of, yes.
Do you know what it is?
Downtown WAUKESHA.
Okay. Does that orange star with the line to your kids' names, does that accurately reflect where you were positioned along the parade route?
Yes.
Could we next pull up exhibit number 29, just for the witness?
Go ahead.
Do you see an image in front of you?
Yes.
Okay, can you describe for us what we're looking at?
We were looking at a intersection where me, my wife, and my kids were sitting during the parade.
Does this accurately depict the intersection, minus all the people, as it was set up on the afternoon of November 21st, 2021?
Yes.
Move exhibit 29 into evidence and ask for permission to publish.
Objection.
Overruled. Exhibit 29 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Nice try, Darrell. There's no lawful objection. That's the problem.
Can we get rid of that side stuff?
But, you know, okay, you should object. Get it on the record.
Could you use the touchscreen in front of you to draw a circle or an oval around the area where you and your family were standing? And can we please save this annotation as Exhibit 29A? And I would move that into the record, please.
29A will be saved and ultimately printed, and then it's received as well.
We can take that down then. Can you describe for us what happened, what you observed that afternoon as you were watching the Christmas parade?
Yes, we were just watching the Christmas parade as we normally do, go to lots of parades as a family. And I heard a loud crash noise to my right, and I looked that way, and then I seen a car running over the marching band. And as soon as the car had ran over the marching band, it swerved towards me and my family, and then just proceeded on down the parade route.
Down Main Street?
Yep.
Okay. Can you describe for us how you, your wife, and your children were positioned?
We were facing the parade, straight on.
Where was your wife in relation to you?
To my left,
Were you standing or sitting?
standing.
Facing the parade route, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. Where were your kids in relation to you?
In front of me,
How many kids do you have?
3.
And which of the 3 kids were in front of you?
Charlie and Lily were in front of me, sitting on a bench,
Okay, what kind of bench?
fold-out bench.
How far away from you were they?
Maybe 3 feet.
If you wanted to reach out and touch them, could you have?
Yes.
How old was Charlie back in November of 2021?
Objection irrelevant.
Overruled.
Not.
9. He's gonna say 9, I think. Okay. I feel like his trespassing was maybe he's a vegan and he was trespassing at where they were building a KFC or something like that. I he's so soft spoken and sweet. I just feel like, and look at how terrorized he is by the fact that his little 9-year-old and I don't know, his little Lily was struck by this monster. Ugh.
What about Lily? How old was she back then?
Objection relevant.
Overruled.
11.
11.
What happened as the vehicle that you described approached your family?
It swerved towards us.
Can you describe the direction of travel when you say swerve?
It, like cardinal direction.
Or even left and right, however you can describe it.
I mean, we were.
The witness.
Overruled. He may answer the question.
We were facing the parade route, and it swerved towards us.
Okay.
And just for the record, he used his right hand in a gesture towards him, almost like a cupping motion towards him. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm going to ask to display Exhibit 22 for the witness only.
Go ahead.
And we'll, can we start around the 12-second mark, please?
What a monster. Look at him.
I'm just going to play a few seconds for you to see if you can identify what's happening in the video, okay? So we'll, let's turn this, make sure the sound's off. It is. All right, let's play from 11 seconds. And pause at 19 seconds. Do you recognize that portion of the video you just watched?
Yes.
What does it show?
It shows where the SUV had ran over the band where I had first heard it coming, and then it's swerving towards my family.
So I would ask that we publish that portion of the video from 12 seconds to 19 seconds.
Go ahead.
And take a deep breath. I could feel that.
Let's play that at a reduced speed of about 50%, please. No sound. Pause.
Look at his face.
Pause at 21 seconds. Can you circle for us the area where you and your family were at this moment in time?
Objection. I thought it was being played till 19 seconds.
Your objection's noted. It's overruled. Go ahead, circle, sir.
And could we please have a saved screen grab of that and mark it as Exhibit 22A and move it into evidence?
22A is received. It will be marked and printed later.
Oh,
We
ho,
go
ho,
to
ho, 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 ho,
witness
ho, ho,
only,
wait,
Exhibit
wait, wait.
27.
Does everybody remember that video, that obnoxious music video that Darrell in his late 30s put up on social media? I mean, I know I'm not the social media queen here, but he made a big rap video and he put it on whatever social media sites he had, and it was his big old tough thing where they prove that it's him standing in front of his mom's car. And he opens the door for them to include an exhibit. Did we not just do that right here? Did we not just do the exact same thing right here? We had an exhibit. The witness, they stopped it. He circled something and they took a green screen grab, and that has now been made an exhibit. It was in discovery. It was always there. But now it's been something specific about it has been pointed out, and a new piece of that has been spliced out and put into the record. It's the exact same thing. That music video was not the first time that an exhibit was made with a witness on the stand. Thank you very much. Darrell, you messed up the whole thing. I am so happy I'm going through this again. I am so happy. What a monster. Zach Wichow, he's slaying the dragon. I can't even say dragon. Dragon would be mystical. He's just a monster.
Do you see a video on your screen?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna play a few seconds and let you recognize it. Paused at 5 seconds. Do you recognize that video?
Yes.
What does it show?
Looks like the SUV right after it ran into my kids.
Move exhibit, excuse me, is that video an accurate depiction of how you saw the events unfold that afternoon?
Yes.
I move exhibit 27 into evidence and ask to publish.
Objection, hearsay.
It's not
Exhibit
hearsay.
27 is
Oh, you
Receive
moron.
permission to publish is granted.
That's just Darrell guessing. Stupid. Stupid.
We'll play this once all the way through. It's 16 seconds. There's no audio. Okay, we can take that down. The area of that video that's relevant to you and your family would be the top left portion, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know whether your two kids were struck by the vehicle?
Yes, they were.
Okay. And that's consistent with where they were sitting along the curb?
Yes.
All right. I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
That was quick. Just like he said.
Go ahead, Mr. Brooks.
You stated that all the videos you just saw were accurate depictions of what you observed that day, correct?
Yes.
Have you seen any of these videos before today?
No.
Blows what you were going to say out of the water. I think. Monster.
So today's your first time seeing any of this footage?
Yes.
Oh, he is angry.
Mr. Green, have you ever been convicted of a crime?
Yes.
I just want to take a look at Darrell, this monster, just for a minute. That man is very angry, and he has every right to be. This garbage monster that's been terrorizing Wisconsin mostly for the past 30-something years ran over his children who were just trying to watch a parade. And he has the nerve to ask him about one conviction 17 years ago. Let's continue. What a monster. Look at him. Oh, daggers. Daggers. Wish I knew how to edit that in.
Do you remember what you did when the vehicle passed you?
Yes.
You state for the record what you did immediately following the vehicle passing you?
I ran to see if my kids were okay.
Thank you.
You stated that your wife was standing to your left. Do you recall what she did?
Hearsay.
No, I don't.
Do you recall checking to see if your wife was okay?
No, I don't.
Do you recall getting a look at the driver of the vehicle?
Yes, I do.
And what did you see?
I seen somebody in a hoodie with dark skin.
Thank you. Not very much of a description, but
Did you observe
purposeful.
anyone else in the vehicle?
No, I did not.
How does that help you,
Did you see
Darrell?
the entire vehicle? Passenger seat and back seats?
I don't recall seeing anybody in the back seats. The windows were tinted.
So it would be fair to say if there was somebody seated in the back, you wouldn't have seen them.
I couldn't say.
Okay. He goes to this tinting thing. I think this is one of the things that his defense attorneys probably brought up and made note of over and over again, because it does lend to people not being able to fully identify exactly what's going on. But let's get a couple of things that I've learned through this, and that I've learned through tinting my own windows on my own vehicles. First of all, certain windows cannot be tinted legally, or should not be tinted legally. If they're tinted, you're not going to get them through your respective states' inspections. Okay, every state is a little different, but most states have some sort of regulation. And where I am, there's the windshield to the A line, which is a small little line. You can see it on your windshield. That's usually above or just at where your rear view mirror is. That's where that and above is like 8 inches, 6 inches of your windshield. So it's absolutely not worthwhile getting that tinted. I got that tinted once. You pay a terribly large amount of money for something that doesn't really help you at all. So it does not obscure anybody seeing in the front of the window, in the front windshield. Okay. The front passengers, generally, if a tint is allowed, the percentage, and I think the lower the percent is the percent you can see through the window. So if it's, or the lower the percent is, you can see, like if it's 30, you can see 70% of what's inside. There is no state that's going to, on any window, allow a blackout tint. It's unsafe. First of all, it darkens what you can see, and it's just not safe for people coming up to your vehicle because they can't see within your vehicle. So officers, when they approach cars that have dark tinted window in the back, they'll ask you to lower them, things like that. They will probably do a test to see if the tint is legal. If it's not legal, they make you rip that stuff off. But let's be very clear. Even when I have tinted to a legal degree my car's windows, I have always been able to see in. It's been obscure for people to see in, but I can see, because I guess I adjust my eyes. You can definitely see out, but it also costs a lot of money. I mean, not an exorbitant amount. It's just a little tiny upgrade. I kind of liked the shading of it because my eyes are sensitive to light, but I seriously doubt that Darrell, with no freaking job for his whole life and has done nothing meaningful for his whole entire life, spent any money on his 10-plus-year-old mother's car, the car that's 10 plus years old, to tint the windows or to upgrade it in any other fashion.
Did you get a license plate number of the
A
vehicle?
license
No, I did
plate.
not.
I can't with Darrell today. License plate.
From your opinion, about how fast would you say the vehicle was traveling?
Speculation. Why is
Hard
he
to say.
doing this? Fast enough to hit my kids and run them over.
After the vehicle passed you, did you observe it strike anyone else?
No, I did not.
Were you injured during the incident in any way?
No, I was not.
Was your wife injured in any way during the incident?
No, she was not.
Don't do it.
Do you recall about how long you were at the parade before the incident happened?
I do not.
Do you recall about how long you stayed after the incident?
No longer than 3 minutes?
So you got right out of there immediately after.
Yes.
In case you were going to back up to finish the job, monster. Icky little man.
Do you recall making a report of what happened at the incident?
No.
You don't recall talking to Officer Sepacan?
I did not talk to anybody at the incident.
See, Darrell, that's not what you asked. He's listening. Oh, God, you're so disgusting.
You don't recall making any police report to what happened?
Not at the incident, no.
In the days following the incident, did you make any report?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
Do you recall who the officer was that you reported the incident to?
No, I do not.
He could kill him. What restraint this man has. Oh, my gosh.
So earlier you said that you heard a crash to your right, which alerted you to the vehicle approaching. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Do you know what that crash was?
The vehicle hitting the band.
Members, oh, please, finish
So
the
before
sentence.
you heard that crash, you wasn't alerted to the presence of a vehicle approaching?
No, I was not.
Would it be fair to say that it was really loud during the parade at that time?
Yes.
Do you recall in the report that you made that you initially thought the vehicle was part of the parade and it was an accident?
Yes.
Because nobody who is not a monster, anybody who is not a monster, anyone who is not a monster, like Darrell Brooks, could not fathom that some turd in his mother's vehicle isn't running over children during a Christmas parade to escape their last criminal event. Any normal person, like this sweet man right here who just was trying to take his kids to see a parade, any normal person would first think that that is a terrible accident, that nobody could have meant to do it. But Darrell, you're a monster and you're a turd. You're an icky little man. You're all kinds of things. Ugh, disgusting.
When you first saw the vehicle approaching, that's what you thought?
Yes.
Maybe that's what I was doing.
Do you recall the vehicle swerving?
Yes, I do.
He
Do you
said
remember
that
what direction the vehicle swerved in?
towards me.
To the left, towards me and my family.
And did it swerve away from your family at that point?
No, it hit
After
them.
it hit my family, yes.
Whoa. Oh. And it was you. Why do people say it was the vehicle? It was the driver that did it. The driver did it. Maybe he can't bring
Do
himself
you
to do that.
remember
I don't know.
stating that you were not sure if the people being run over were part of the parade or guests watching the parade?
I do not recall making that statement, no.
Liar. Liar lines. Oh my God, you're such a liar.
Do you recall the make or model of the SUV?
No, I do not.
Do you recall the license plate number of the SUV?
He just asked
No,
that.
I do not.
You asked that before, stupid. License plate. There's no such thing as a license plate. I would have given anything for anybody to say, what is a license plate? How do you spell that? What is a license
Do
plate?
you remember stating that when you saw the SUV coming, you froze?
Yes.
See? Fight, flight, or freeze. Kyle Jewell, I think his name was. That was definitely a fight. This guy did a freeze. And then he did a flight. These are totally normal adrenaline-driven responses. Normal people have.
And do you remember saying that
Look at
you
how
stared
crossed arms. Oh, he's
directly at
angry.
it as he was driving towards you?
Yes.
He was hoping to
And you
stop
didn't
it.
get an accurate description of the driver?
No.
I had already stated that I seen a tan-skinned person with a hood on.
You said dark skin.
Objection. That's not a question and argumentative.
Oh,
Thank you.
is there a
Grounds.
question, Mr. Brooks? You
Grounds.
can't testify, but you can question him. So
Grounds.
strike. Ask your question.
Did you not state earlier that you saw a dark skinned driver?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I try so hard to not be racist in my life. I always have. Whenever people accuse me, I'm always introspective about it. People tend to describe the color of other people's skin based on in relation to their own. Okay, in relation to this very fair skinned, like I'm not sure, like I would be darker, I would be tan skinned against him. He is a very fair skinned. His experience has always been looking at himself in the mirror. So to describe a darker skinned person, and especially trying not to be racist about it, saying, is that person Hispanic, or how is that person darker? Maybe of Indian descent or African descent or whatever, however you're going to describe it. I'm sure he always feels like he's describing it incorrectly. And once again,
And did you now just state that you saw a tan skinned driver?
They both seem the same to me.
thank you. To him, they seem the same.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
So from your perspective, dark skin and tan skin is the same?
Yes. Yes.
Ground.
Grounds.
Argumentative. Next question.
Yes. To him, with his limited melanin in his skin, to him with his limited melanin, tan and dark, they're all darker than him. They're all darker. Probably almost everybody.
You can rephrase.
Holy. Why don't you
What
just
would
call
you
him a
consider to be
racist?
dark skin?
Oh, jeez.
Grounds.
Overruled.
Anything darker than
The
me.
answer.
Say it. Just say it.
Hard to say.
He's trying not to be racist. Anything darker than him
What do
is
you consider to be tan skin?
anything darker than me. Oh, I wish I could help him.
Darker than
Me.
Caucasian, I guess.
That's what he's, without trying to say it, that's what he's trying to say.
Would it be fair to say that there is different types of shades of color to people? Would that be fair to say?
He's going to say yes. Because obviously. And I don't know if Darrell's trying to make him look racist, but the guy doesn't look racist to me. Everybody is going to do that based on their own experience. And with his very light skin, he's probably not going to consider how many different shades of darker skin with that there would be. Because he's not picking out foundation for his makeup based on Darrell's skin color. My beautiful granddaughter, who happens to be biracial, has lovely brown skin, and she just calls, this is my brown baby, and this is my other colored baby, and she has all kinds of descriptive words. Why can't we just be like children?
He answered the question. His answer may stand.
Thank you. Okay, just leave him alone, Darrell. The dude is not a racist, and that I can see
Do
here.
you recall if the driver was doing anything, gesturing, or doing anything?
No, he was staring at me. Well, he ran over my children like a monster. I'm sorry, I need to shut up.
Do you recall hearing gunshots?
No.
Any idea why that would be in the report?
How would he know?
Foundation.
Sustained is to the form of the question. That's foundation.
How would he
Do you
know?
recall
Okay. He didn't write the report. An officer did.
stating that, well, let me read from the report. Thomas stated they heard gunshots and he picked up Charles and they ran back to their vehicle. Do you recall making that statement?
I recall an officer coming down the street yelling gunshots fired.
Any idea why you would be mistaken in your report that you heard the gunshots?
Objection mischaracterizes
Grounds.
It does mischaracterize
Sustained.
it.
Lack of foundation as to the form of the question.
I'm
Okay.
reading directly from-
How can Darrell be so stupid? There we go. There's the question. That's what I'm going to call this one. How can he be so stupid?
From the report, man. Directly from the report.
Directly from the report. That's not yours.
That's not the issue, Mr. Brooks. The issue is it his statement or a summary of his statement?
Yes,
That makes a difference to the foundation you have to lay.
Haven't we gone over this
It does not
1,000
say
times?
Summary.
I'll object if that was a question for the witness. If it was an argument with the court, I'll withdraw that objection.
I believe it was a statement to the court. I don't know what you're looking at.
And he puts it up in the air. I'm looking at this. He is such a petulant toddler. He is such a petulant toddler. Look at him. I'm looking at this, Yana. See all my yellow marks on it? That aren't even his. Probably they are from the attorneys before.
Statement.
Oh my God.
Signed. Sometimes police officers summarize what witnesses say to them, so that's what I'm referring to as a summary. And if it's in a summary, typically, if it's a direct attribution to a witness, it's in quotes. So with that, ask your question.
This is not in quotes, but I'm gonna assume this is summary. Do you remember stating in your summary report that you heard gunshots?
No, wrong.
No.
It is not his summary report. It is somebody else's summary of what this man said. And again, they're going to take what he said in a panicked moment and try to put it in terms that can be recalled and in the context of what he's trying to say. You know, his kids were just run over by a monster in a red SUV at a place that was supposed to be joyful and safe. Then some officer runs down the road yelling that shots have been fired. So now he's worried for his family again. He's trying to exit the area and then get them probably medical treatment. And this bonehead thinks that the summary is his. It's not his. Why are you trying to make it his? Because he's trying to narcissistically argue semantics. I just answered my own question. How many more are you guys yelling at the screen too? I'm yelling at the screen. Look at Zach, watch out.
Do you recall if the injuries suffered by your family were broken bones?
They were not.
So were they bruises?
Yes.
About how long would you say that your family was treated at the hospital before being released?
Hard to say.
Was this a significant amount of time, a few hours?
1 minute would have been significant, you stupid monster.
A few hours, yes.
But to your recollection, they were treated and then released?
Yes.
Please let this man go. Oh my God, let him off the hook. Ugh.
And who is Nicole?
My wife.
Do you recall Nicole making any statements to law enforcement?
She made one, yes.
Do you recall Nicole stating that she heard gunshots?
No, I do not.
Grounds.
And an objection, it calls for hearsay, it's sustained. Any answer that he gave is
Is stricken.
struck. Jury shall disregard it.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm also reading this from the summary.
It doesn't matter.
Question him about what he knows, not what other people said to him.
No, the question was, did he know? Do you recall her saying that she heard gunshots?
You're asking him to confirm hearsay, so it's sustained. Next question or rephrase. Like, are you aware?
Are you aware if she heard gunshots or not?
I'm not aware.
Thank you. Look at his face. Oh, he hates him.
Is it fair to say that right after that you ran straight to your vehicle?
Right after what?
Right after the incident.
There was a slight delay,
And what was that delay?
seeing if our kids were okay.
And then from that, straight to the vehicle.
After the officer came running down the street saying shots fired, we picked up our kids and ran.
So you decided to leave after you heard an officer saying shots fired, or because of the incident at the parade?
After the officer said shots fired.
So would it be fair to say that you weren't initially inclined to leave because of the incident, but because of the shots fired? Grounds.
What did he just ask? Did he seriously just ask this man who watched his 11 and 9-year-old sitting on a little fold-out bench watching a Christmas parade get run over by a monster sloth in a red SUV that belongs to his mother? If he was gonna just go ahead and stay? Oh my God. Please. Did he just ask that? Lord. Oh my God.
Overruled. He may answer. And then move on.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Would it be fair to say that you were prompted to leave because of the shots fired and not the incident that happened at the parade?
I don't really understand what you're asking.
Because it
What
makes
prompted you to leave?
the whole
When the officer
thing.
said shots fired.
So the incident that happened didn't prompt you to leave?
No.
Grounds.
Overruled. He may answer if he understands the question.
We did not want to leave right away because my son said he couldn't feel his legs. And there was a woman there helping us that said he might have a back injury, that we should not move him.
Wow.
Recollection.
Wow. Okay, Darrell. Did that help you? Did that help you? They didn't want to move the 9-year-old child because after you ran him over, they were afraid you paralyzed him. Thank goodness you didn't. And it's not to say that he didn't have nerve trauma from a 3,000-pound vehicle, because a 9-year-old probably weighs 60 pounds.
Is that woman a nurse or a medical professional?
I don't know.
Would it be fair to say that she was making an assumption?
I don't know.
Do you recall the woman's name?
No, I don't.
Do you recall if she was a spectator or someone marching or?
I don't know.
Oh, hold on. No, but what I do recall, Darrell, is that it was not the person driving the vehicle. I'm trying to get it back to where it was. It was not the person driving the vehicle who stopped to get out and help after they ran over my child. Let me see if I got it
Would it be fair to
close.
say that she was making an assumption?
Okay, so
I don't know.
I got it close.
Do you recall the woman's name?
Nope.
No, I don't.
Do you recall if she was a spectator or someone marching?
I recall it wasn't the
don't know.
driver of the vehicle.
Do you
Ran
recall,
over my kid.
The description of the woman that told you not to move your child?
No.
Relevance.
Grounds.
Overruled.
Grounds.
Caucasian, blonde hair.
She
So it'd
wasn't
be fair to
tan.
say she seemed pretty concerned.
Very concerned.
She probably saw you run over the child.
So why would you not immediately leave at that point?
Because I didn't know if he had a back injury or what the extent of his injuries were. And if it was a spinal injury, I didn't want to pick him up.
Did you try to make a call for medical attention at that point?
Seriously, Darrell? You hit that many people and you think he's going to get attention for the one kid? I
I
can't.
did not.
And what prompted you not to seek medical
The
attention?
10 other people who got run over?
You had a assumption that the injuries could be severe?
This all happened within about.
Is he trying to make this guy seem like a bad father for doing that? Quite frankly, as a paramedic, I would not have judged him if he did pick up a child who he thought had a spinal injury in that particular incident or any incident. I once had a gentleman who got run over and the car ran away. Hit and run, car versus pedestrian. And he was a huge admitted drug user, narcotics drug user. We couldn't find him at first. The people around him, his friends or whoever it was, picked him up off the street and carried him into the house. When we did find him, on the second call for help, when we did finally find him, I did not judge that he was moved. I simply assessed based on that. Okay? So if this man had picked his child up, even thinking that his spine was hanging out his butt and he ran off with him, I would have assessed the child from where I met him, not judging what any bystander would do. Because you can't control that part of the situation. People do what they think is right. And now that the car is gone and not running over him anymore, take a minute and assess your situation. That's fine too. That's fine too.
About a 2-second time frame. I mean, it was.
The only person that did something wrong in this situation, Darrell, is you, and you're just pointing that out to the jury.
It was so fast. Everything was chaotic, and I mean, there wasn't really time to do anything besides try to see if my kids were okay and try to compose myself to take care of them.
Thank
So
you.
it would be fair to say that you were pretty much like just frozen.
Yes.
You didn't know what to do.
That's
and
okay.
how to go about doing it.
Most people don't.
Yes.
What I used to tell the students when I taught was that people call 911 because they don't know what to do next. Some people call just because they want to ride and they think they're going to get seen first. And that's not true, by the way. PSA, you're not getting into the ER first. If you come by ambulance, you can get put right in that waiting room fast as anybody else can. But if you have an emergency and you come to a point where you no longer know what to do, that's the next thing. For some people, that's well into the situation. For this gentleman, maybe not medically trained. Maybe he is medically trained and he saw that it was his own kids and he just couldn't put the thoughts together. I had somebody who was a paramedic, had been one for years and years and years, saw his father have a seizure and couldn't identify that that's what it was. It was me who said, "You realize he's having a seizure, right?" Because you want to know why? That's not my dad. I could look at him as an individual with a medical problem, and that paramedic couldn't. He was looking at him as a dad and panicked the way any normal person could do in any situation. That's why we don't treat our own family. That's why we don't treat our own family.
Do you recall your wife trying to call for medical attention?
No.
Do you recall anyone that you were standing next to or in front of attempting to call medical attention?
No.
So they're all bad people, everybody but you, Darrell. In his own twisted head. Yeah. What kind of mental gymnastics does it take to have that kind of evil in you? Holy.
Do you recall saying in the summarized report this statement? Thomas stated Charles was laying on his back and had blacked out.
To my recollection, yes.
You recall saying that to the officer?
I recall my son saying that.
Do you recall making that statement to the officer that interviewed you?
No, I do not.
Would it be fair to say that that is in the report because you may have said that to the officer?
You know, before Darrell started questioning, I'm sorry I keep chiming in here, but it just occurred to me that before Darrell started questioning this poor guy, my imagination, of course, is going to be light because I can't imagine something terrible like that happening to these two kids. But my imagination said that they were brushed by. It sounds like they were just run the heck over. And this kid, the 9-year-old, I guess, actually lost consciousness, which is significant. The more Darrell brings out, the more significant these injuries are, and the worse this particular part of his crime spree is to me.
Yes,
But you don't recall.
I do not.
So you're not helping yourself at all.
Did you see any other children struck by the vehicle?
You mean
The
besides the 10
Any other
in the
children?
bed? Thank you. Those are
van-
children.
children?
Those are children. Those are under 18 children. Ugh. Ugh.
Small children.
No, I do not.
You're
You do
disgusting.
recall small children being present, correct?
Yes.
No further questions.
Can you redirect?
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my God. Go for it, Zach.
You testified on cross-examination that you initially thought the vehicle was part of the parade and that it was an accident. Do you recall giving that testimony?
Yes.
Did you continue to think that it was an accident?
Objection. You're saying.
No, I did.
Hold on. Overruled, he may answer.
Once the vehicle kept going after hitting the band, I realized that it was not a part of the parade.
What about the vehicle's path of travel led you to that realization?
The speed that it had accelerated.
You recall testifying on cross-examination that you don't recall the make and model or license plate number of the SUV? Remember saying that?
Yes.
How many SUVs or vehicles in general did you see striking people during the parade route?
Objection. Irrelevant.
Overruled.
Oh, what? Irrelevant. Zach, which out is the monster slayer here? You are the serious monster slayer. How many other SUVs were in the parade running people over? And he says, objection.
Just the one.
Just the one.
You testified that you've been convicted of a crime in
Holy.
the past. How many times?
Once.
Thank you.
You testified a little bit about the injuries that your two kids sustained. You had a third child with you at the parade, is that right?
Yes.
And was that third child injured in any way?
She was not.
Okay. Speaking about the two kids who were, do you recall in general what their injuries were?
Thank you.
My son had nerve damage to his knees,
He did have nerve damage.
and my daughter just had severe bruising.
Do you know what part of their bodies, respectively, were struck?
My son was struck in the knees, and my daughter was struck in her hand.
Do you remember if it was the right knee or both knees, or the left knee?
It was both knees.
Oh, hold on. Objection is overruled. He may answer. Can you repeat your answer?
Both knees,
And what about your daughter? Which hand?
right hand.
And they were sitting facing the parade route?
Yes.
So what direction would the SUV have traveled from their perspective? Right to left or left to right or something different?
Right to left.
Okay.
So her hand's out, and he hits him.
I think we're all set. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. You may step down.
Thank you.
Get him with the stupid papers.
You may.
Yeah, Darrell, you're a monster. For real, bud. For real.
This will be our last witness today. I will have the instruction for the jury before I excuse you. Do not begin your deliberations and discussion of the case until all the evidence is presented, and I have instructed you on the law.
Okay, so they're going to give the regular, don't talk to anybody, don't go on social media, don't do all this stuff. Wow. So glad I'm through day 3. How stupid, and he just becomes a bigger and bigger monster, I know. But he is a pretty bad monster as far as I'm concerned. What a petulant toddler. Ugh. God, how disgusting. You want to donate to WAUKESHA, I do have the link that you can copy and paste in the description down below. Anybody who has anything to chime in, I know I got really upset by the end of this, but that poor man watching his kids and then being accused, ugh, God, disgusting. Okay. We will be moving on with more Despicable Darrell for day 4. Gonna look it up, and we'll get through it. We'll get through this. This is Patty Jo. See you later. See you later.